Alright, you guys, I'm recording this video on my camera and I'm trying to get the quality to look good, but I don't know what's up. So I just wanted to share quickly that today is the 3-year mark since I have first audibly heard the voice of the Lord, our God. Today is May 5th. May 5th. Today is also Labor Day. And the way how I heard the voice of the Lord was in a warning sense. There was something that happened that I later found out that, hey, my cousin and another, I think, young artist got injured really badly. Like, they got slashes in their heads and so on, so on, so on. I think his name was Aleki. Thank God he's good. I don't know him personally. Only ever heard about him since that time. But, it was that time that I first heard about him, and it was the first time, more importantly, that I heard the voice of the Lord, and it was a warning. So I woke up probably 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock that May 5th, 2022 morning, and the Lord directly said to me, "There is gonna be great damage done at Fort today." So at that point in time, I was really frightened. I was just starting to get, accustomed to hearing the voice of the Lord, and I was not so sensitive and to it. Actually, I was, but not in that way. Not hearing like somebody said something to me, like I have somebody next to me saying something to me. I never heard the Lord's voice like that before. I'm telling you, like it was if somebody said something to me. You can have a thought and you can have like a nudge of the Holy Spirit. It was not like that. It was, in fact, like somebody spoke to me, as I said. So when I heard that voice, I was like, "Excuse me, Satan, you're trying to scare me. That's not gonna work." So I pushed it out. I was like, "Nah." But regardless of that, I told my brothers, I was like, "Mommy, don't let them go to Fort today." I asked them if they were going to say yeah, and I was like so concerned still, because I was like, it came in and it was just that. The Lord gave me a warning and I thought it was the devil. So I pushed it off, did not hearken onto it. And so, things happened that happened. My cousin, I just found out it was my cousin that had his head slashed almost in two. I think his cranium got fractured. The other young man as well, he had a slice in the middle of his head, I think. And even though the news came out, like I pushed away that nudging of God, like not even that nudge, because it wasn't even a nudge. I pushed that thought away. I pushed what I heard away so badly that even when it happened and the news came out, like they had to turn it off before it was finished, and this thing that happened to this person and 2 people got chopped up. At the time I heard it was stabbing, and then I realized that they got chopped in their heads. Like I think that people really tried to kill them. That makes me think, like, people are so heartless. But I know, like, people have a heart, but their hearts have waxed cold. So if you made it so far into this video, like, you can just drop a comment if you remember what it was, if you remember that time in 2022. So yeah, that happened, and I heard the news, and because I had already brushed it off so badly, like so much, I did not remember it. And so later on, something happened. Like, let me tell you the whole story. I was already contemplating if I would tell you the whole story. My mouth getting a bit dry with my water. I don't know. Okay, so that after that happened, the news came up. I was like, my grandmother was calling me because she heard the news as well. This is the way how the Lord used my grandmother. She heard the news as well. That the things happened to the young man and them. And before that, my mom came and told her, you know, I was telling them not to go, because just not to go. I didn't tell them why, but I was too scared to tell them, like, okay, I think the Lord said that something is gonna happen. Now, if I was moving in faith and not fear, and I would have prayed over what I heard, the Lord would have most definitely, like, let me know that's what He was saying, and I could have told them, and I could have, the prophecy would have probably been fulfilled, or they could have known that it was, I would say, same day prophecy, whatever it is. So my grandma, I went to my grandma. Before I went to my grandma, as I said, my mom already told her the news, and my mom told her the news, and she no, my mom told her about what I said, and she heard the news, so she was like, whoa, like, that could have easily been her grandkids, my brothers, because I was telling them not to go. So then now, I was like not necessarily trying to go to her. I was like trying to just spend the day home. And crazy, the Lord is so good. I had some mangoes in the fridge, right? And I was gonna eat 2 of them. So I said, Lord, I took the 2 mangoes out, and when I said 2 perfect mangoes, y'all, 2 perfect mangoes. When I said 2 perfect mangoes, I was gonna select the spotless lamb without blemishes, but I'm so serious. I was gonna say the spotless lamb with no blemishes, but anyways, and I took the mangoes out of the fridge because I put them in the fridge so they can get a bit cold. And I said, I went outside, I took them out the fridge, I washed them, and I put them down. Right? And I said, Lord, if I'm not supposed to eat these mangoes, no. I took them out the fridge, looked at them, took out the 2 best ones, because they were mine. I took out the 2 best ones. I eat the best for, like, first. So I took out the 2 best ones, and I rested on the counter, and I said, I'm gonna go wash them soon. But I was like, Lord, like, I don't want to go to my grandmother. Like, this is me. I talked to the Lord about everything. So I was like, Lord, I'm gonna go to my grandmother, and no, like, I'm gonna eat these mangoes, but my grandmother is calling me. So, like, if I'm not supposed to eat these mangoes and I'm supposed to go straight to my grandmother, there's a B. Let me, like, not eat these mangoes, y'all. The Lord said, go to your grandmother. I didn't hear that, but let me tell you how He said to go to my grandmother. I took up 2 spotless mangoes. When I went back to go wash the mangoes, I took not to go wash them. Tell me how on God's earth, it was only 1 of them, but you see, like, a mango gets damaged when it was young, so it grows with, like, maybe a dent or a big imperfection. Tell me, where did that come from? Because when I took up the mango, I told you at first, that mango was perfect. When I tell y'all, like, I don't even want to swear, but when I tell y'all the mangoes were perfect, and when I go to go and pick them, to go and wash them, I saw a big dent. When I said big dent, I can't even make this up. It's not even funny. So I was like, hold on, where did this come from? And I was like, hold on, Lord, like, you actually play in my face. Like, you actually play in my face for real. So anyways, I said, you know what? Okay, I'm not gonna wash these because, I found a big dent in one of them. So I put it down, put it back in the fridge, go to my grandmother, and my grandmother said, my family call me Didi, right? It's a nickname. So she was like, Didi, do you remember that what you told your brothers on Labor Day morning not to go to fort, and you see what happened to them young men that got their head, like, slashed and sliced open? And when I tell y'all, when she said that, water came to my eyes, and I kind of clicked out for a second, because I'm just like, no, like, the Lord is, like, speaking to me, like, the Lord is telling me, this is why I needed you to come, so you can realize, like, this is what this is what I was telling you that you missed. And when she said that, water came to my eyes, and she was going on and on and on about it. Like, I could hear her, but I was like, I was just so taken back to how the Lord said it to me. And when I tell y'all, I woke up, and as soon as I woke up, I heard that word of the Lord, and the Lord spoke to me like that a second time, so I knew it was Him. The Lord works with patterns, and you know He works in the same ways, but in different ways sometimes. Anyways, but He's like the same way, but He's the same, but He comes in different ways. But He came in the same way. But that's a whole other story for another time, if I'm even gonna ever tell that story. But when she said that, y'all, I'm just here like, whoa. That was the Lord speaking to me. And from that day, I regret not sharing that and moving in fear instead of faith. Like, I did not even question God about it. I completely pushed it aside and move on so much with my life, to the point where when the news came out, like, it did not even register in my mind that it was the Lord. Y'all, the devil is here to steal, kill, and to destroy. He like, basically, he stole that word out of me and instilled fear, which made me like completely forget about that word from the Lord. But I remember it. Like, I forgot it for the time, but I remember it up to this day, because it's a 3-year mark since I have first heard the voice of the Lord. And it's just something that I really appreciate. I have heard Him speak to me like that a few more times, a couple other times, and I just appreciate God so much, because I'm just thankful that, and I'm grateful, I'm happy that I came to know Him, and I'm just thankful for this journey that I have embarked on. The Lord has done many things through me, and He is doing many things through me, and there are many more things to come through me, from me, by the grace of God. And it's the same for you. It's the same for you. It can be the same for you, and once it will be the same for you. Once you allow God in, and not just go according to your own ways and to your own knowledge, but according to His plans and His will for your life, it will be quite different than what you have in plan, maybe, but still, it's like His will over mine at the end of the day. But this video is getting kind of long. I don't think I was planning to share the story, but I was just about to share like the 3-year anniversary since I heard the voice of the Lord, and today is a day that such a tragedy happened, although there were no fatalities. Yeah, that's basically all. I just came to share the word of the Lord to you. God is good, and God gives His people warnings before whatever is to come. And there's a lot of warnings. Even saying that, there's a lot of warnings like that is being dished out day by day by day by a lot of people that the Lord has put in place. Like, honestly, I'm gonna say but if you have not heard the voice of the Lord, if you have not heard a message from the Lord at any point in your life, I feel like everybody has heard something from the Lord, because the Lord never stops speaking. The Bible was written like a long time ago, but the Lord still speaks up to this day. Even in this video that I'm sharing, the Lord is using me to speak to somebody, to even let somebody know, okay, God is real, God cares, God sees, God knows all, and I'm just a vessel. I'm just Jadeisha Christopher, who went through a heartbreak, and because of that heartbreak I found God. Like, I went after God instead of another relationship. That's my story. And it can be the same for you. But anyways, the Lord is gonna get His word out, His messages out, His warnings out. But it's up to us to listen. I don't like how this footage looks. It looks really, I don't know, because it's on my camera and the lighting is not too bad, but I don't know why it's behaving like this. But nonetheless, I got this video out. My phone storage is full, and I gotta empty some stuff. But yeah, I wish you guys all the best. Thanks for watching.